God, will Pulse fill up? Yes. If it accrues so much value and gets so many users, yeah, the fees will go up and you'll just get really, really rich holding Pulse watching. Oh no, more really, really rich people. Like, you can't, here's the thing. You cannot force a free market to keep things cheap, because then crappy use cases that aren't valuable will outbid useful and valuable use cases. And do you want your chain with limited capacity to be filled up with crap? No, you don't want your chain filled up with crap. You want it filled up with nice, good things. Well, then how do you know what the difference between nice and crap is? By bidding. And the people that see more value in the chain pay more to use the chain. And then your limited resource chain, through the bidding mechanism, is filled with the most valuable things that people can fill it with. And so this like socialist USSR decree that, oh, we're just going to have cheap fees forever, it doesn't work, because there's a finite amount of space and you have to allocate it to certain users. And who should you allocate it to? Those that can most afford it, because they're bidding with their money for how valuable the transaction is. So the solution to a limited resource isn't to screw around with the pricing. The solution to a limited resource is to create more of the resource. So the Ethereum chain is full. Great. Well, we're going to make one with 4 times more throughput, and it won't be full. It'll be empty, and let's go fill it up.
Hey everybody, woohoo! Ethereum ETF approved. That is hyper bullish, and it's perfectly timed, really, after the Bitcoin halving. It's going to be so good. And of course, earlier in the year, 10th of January, we had the Bitcoin ETF as well. So things are going to start chiming up. We, going to probably have a few tricks in the games in terms of the market, tricking people out, but so far so good. And looking bullish. And of course, as you guys know, after the last 2 previous Bitcoin halvings, we had a couple of months of volatility, maybe 2 months or something like that, and then it was game on. But this year, of course, we've got quite a few unique events in the crypto market with the Bitcoin ETF on January the 10th, and of course the Bitcoin halving only 33 days ago. And then, of course, now we've got the Ethereum ETF approvals. So everything is lining up for, I guess, that mega run. So let's see, 100K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun ahead. Now let's get into it. Obviously, that's going to roll into Pulsechain. So we're going to talk about that too. Pulsechain showing some green shoots today. So we're going to talk about that as well. We've got Sandy Beach in the house. Is Sandy here? We've got a Sandy. Put your hand up. Sandy is here. Hello, Hex Token, everybody. Hey, Sandy. Big shout out to you. Sandy has got her challenge on again. I don't see the link today, but day 23 complete of mini challenge. Nice one. No link today though for that. Big shout outs. I think the link is the link in the Discord. Maybe something's in the Discord. I think Cindy posted that in the Discord for the day. Big shout out for that. We got Elias Beneath in the house with the Alpha. How are you today? Very good. It's raining outside and it's just stopped. So we'll see what the day holds for us in terms of weather down under. Hex, PLS, PLXX, and the Center for the win. 100%. That is the golden crypto strategy of this channel. Let's not forget that. We talk about multi-chain stuff now. I've sort of changed the lineup of content to expand a bit more multi-chain. But apart from that, that is the golden crypto strategy of this channel. What else? Let's jump through it. We've got Brennan in the house there, morning family, and Superman. That is Brennan, our TA guru in the house. Good to see Brennan as always. What's up? Let's send dogs to the moon. Yeah. Dogs on Bitcoin, looking pretty cool. If you haven't heard of that, we'll talk more. We're going to talk about it again today. We got the Bitcoin dog to the moon. Yeah, boy. That's part of our title for today. There we go. Wookie loves the moon, says Wookie. Wookie lives on the moon. He's got a little pad there, little pad. I was going to say bachelor pad, but it's not a bachelor, so that wouldn't work out. Bobcat now said time to DCA again. I agree, Bobcat. I think that's a very good idea. Archie's in the house. Hey, Archie. Hi, all. Archie is, of course, one of our 2 recent community leaders, along with Brian, who always crushes it in our Discord and, of course, on YouTube. So big shout out to Archie. And, of course, running our, you guys know, running our he's going to be running our Mafia team. So he's the leader of the Mafia team. So it's going to be pretty cool. I say mafia team, I meant mafia family. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. We're going to talk about the mafia. We don't want to, upset them at all. They might take out their vengeance. All right, so that's it. Let's get into it, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. Let's go. And let me get on the right screen. We're going to start with the stock market briefly and then get straight into crypto, of course. That is the highlight story today. So let's pull that in. So the Dow, S&P 500 snaps the win streak as rising yields steal Nvidia's shine. Now, obviously, Nvidia was the big data we want to come out there with the old microprocessors. And, of course, the 500 snaps win streak is over for the time being. So it needs always good to have a little breather, right? So there we go. We got the Dow Jones down 0.5%. So it's a pretty decent down day for Dow Jones. 605 points to 39,000. Remember, the Dow Jones got the top 30 industrials in it in the United States, at least a good number of them. The S&P 500 is down 0.75%, down 39 points, down to 5,267. And the Nasdaq with all tech companies is actually not down so much, 0.4%, 65 points to 16,007 and 16,736. So a bit of a down day on the stock market, but we'll look at the week. We'll have a look at the week in Nasdaq. You can see we're actually pretty up. We're over 40,000. We've just come back down. Dow Jones here, we're over 40,000. Just come back down under 30. Just over 39 there. So there we go. 1,000 points for the last couple of days. Let's get into the news though. The fresh signs of pickup in inflation cools rate cut bets. So S&P Global Flash US PMI Composite Output Index rose sharply from 51.3 in April to 54.4. Now, typically anything over 50 on these indexes is an expansion, so that's kind of good news. With the report also highlighting that the rate of inflation accelerating to register the second largest monthly increase seen over the past 8 months. Fresh fears that a underlying strength in the economy could spark a revival inflation, and of course cooled investor expectations for rate cuts just a day after the Fed's main meeting minutes showed members were concerned about stalling disinflation. And of course, we did actually have a good result last time. So I don't know what there's some of these other data coming out that's making them fearful. Adding to fears about demand-led inflation. Remember, the US is around 2/3 to 60-70% of the US is a demand-led economy. And of course, they are the big consumer of the world. Nothing's really changed there. So that demand on goods depends if you're a Keynesianist or a monetarist. How about that? And I'm probably more in the monetarist camp. So there we go. Initial jobless claims fell more than expected in the week ended May the 11th. Treasury yields jumped with the yield on the rate-sensitive 2-year Treasury rising 5.7 basis points to 4.94%, forcing traders to rein in their bullish bets on stocks. So there we go. A bit of risk off. About 48% of traders expect a rate cut in September, down from 51%. So it's still wavering a little bit with the economic data coming in. So 50-50 almost in the call. Atlanta Fed President Referral Bonus said Thursday, however, that the last couple of inflation prints suggest inflation remains on track to return on 2% target, albeit at a slower pace. So there we go. There's a bit of a counterpoint. Now, I think there's something like 18 or 20 presidents in the Federal Reserve at those meetings. Probably need to go back count that, but somewhere in that ballpark. And the other thing, of course, Nvidia came in. So we don't talk too much normally about stocks, but Nvidia came in such a big juggernaut, and it did a pretty good result. So up 9% on record high after chipmaker. First quarter earnings blew past estimates. So that's pretty exciting on that side of things. All right, let's jump over to the news today, and that is a boom. You guys wanted it, and the United States delivered it there, apparently. So the US SEC, so the Securities Exchange, approves exchange applicants to list spot ETH ETF. So that's the big news we're waiting for. Obviously, we had it on the 10th of January for Bitcoin. Now we've got it for Ethereum as well. So that's a really great news. The SEC on Thursday approved applications from Nasdaq. So this is the first part of it, right? So this is the first part of the approval. Approved applicants from Nasdaq, COB, so the Chicago Board of Options and Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, to list ETFs tied to the price of Ether, potentially paving the way for the products to begin trading later this year. So this is part of that approval. Well, the ETF issuers, so the exchanges basically, the ETF issuers also have to get a green light before the products can launch, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So Thursday's approval is a major surprise win for those firms in the crypto industry, which until Monday had expected the SEC to reject the filings. Remember, we were down at 25% probability, while that went to 75% didn't after the Monday from our two Bloomberg analysts. Of course, let's get into it. Nine issuers, including Van Eyck, ARK Investments, BlackRock, hope to launch ETFs tied to the second largest currency after the SEC in January approved Bitcoin ETFs, and a watershed moment for the industry. This is an exciting moment for the industry at large, said Andrew Jacobson, Vice President and Head of Legal at 21 Shares, noting it was a significant step forward towards getting the products trading. Thursday was the deadline for the SEC to decide on the Van Eyck's filing. Market participants were bracing for the thumbs down because the SEC had not engaged with them on the applications. It was kind of weird behavior, but we expect it from the SEC. But in the surprise move, SEC officials on Monday asked the exchanges to quickly fine-tune the filings, just out of the blue there, sending the industry scrambling to complete weeks of work in just days. There we go. Reuters could not ascertain why the SEC appeared to have changed of heart. The introduction of spot Bitcoin ETFs has already demonstrated significant benefits to the digital assets and ETF space, and we believe that the spot Ethereum or Ether ETFs will similarly provide safeguards for U.S. investors, said Rob Morokoko, global head of ETP listings at the Chicago Board of Exchange Global Markets. NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange declined to comment. When asked about the Ether ETFs by reporters at an industry event early on Thursday, SEC Chair Gary Gensler, a crypto skeptic, declined to comment. An SEC spokesperson said in an email announcing the approval that the agency would not comment on further there. So that was kind of some of the key bits there. The exchange applications had sought SEC approval for a rule change requiring to list new products, but the issuers still need the SEC to approve ETF registration statements detailing investor disclosures before they can start trading. Unlike the exchange filings, there is no time set in which the SEC has to decide on those statements. And of course, industry participants said it was unclear how long it would take. Two sources familiar with the process said many issuers are ready to launch, but the corporate financial division of the SEC has indicated it is likely to request changes and updates in the coming days and weeks ahead there. So the SEC rejected spot Bitcoin ETFs for more than a decade over market manipulation worries, but was forced to approve them after Grayscale Investments won a court challenge last year. So there we go. So some good stuff coming up here. And of course, we don't have to wait. So yeah, we've already got the news. And that is boom from James Stefford, one of our two Bloomberg analysts. It says boom. And this has just happened a couple of hours ago. Approved. There it is. The SEC just approved spot Ethereum ETFs. What a turn of events. It all just happened so quickly from the end of last week. It's really happening. So there we go. And so the approvals started coming through there. So it's a done deal. So very, very cool. And of course, we can see that here. SEC approves all spot Ethereum ETFs. And yeah, good news. The combination of a tumultuous journey has finally arrived as the SEC has approved the issuance of spot Ethereum ETFs. Indeed, the decision arrived just 5 months after the agency granted similar approval for spot Bitcoin ETFs to the start of the year. The decision marks the approval of the country's second crypto-based ETF. Moreover, it represents a monumental shift in the overall accessibility of the second largest cryptocurrency to institutional investors. And of course, there you got watch a guru there saying just posting it out about the SEC approval for spot Ethereum ETFs. The official filing was published by the SEC, but it was taken down shortly after the regulator, possibly due to being linked, etc. That happens a lot there. I don't know what it seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? So pretty cool. It was all approved. Yep, following the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs, the market anticipated what cryptocurrency could be next. Naturally, Ethereum was the likely one there. The change significantly at the start of May 2nd last week, seemingly out of nowhere. Bloomberg increased the approval odds from 25% to 75%. Thereafter, the market began anticipating the impending arrival of the Ethereum-based investments here. So they got Bloomberg here, but really it was Balkahunas and Stefford, the two analysts we've been following there, really driving that anticipation. So pretty cool. So it's all been approved, folks. Great news. And of course, the market's going to love that. Now, we know from the other two Bitcoin halvings that we normally have a couple of months volatility after the Bitcoin halvings. So with this news as well, it's maybe another month of interesting behavior, and I think it's going to be game on. We may see Ethereum even continue to rally over 4K and maybe take the lead for a little bit there as well. Some people, of course, expect Ethereum to actually flip Bitcoin. There's a big part of the community that expects that, but we will see. Now, US House approves a crypto. This is the other bit. So not only do we have a lot of that support from the Ethereum ETFs, but we also have the crypto bill going through Congress, and it looks like it's gone through. So there we go. The US House approves crypto FIT 21 bill with a wave of Democratic support. So there we go. They finally did something right in the Democratic Party. The House's passage of the digital asset legislation passes the crypto baton to the Senate. And of course, that's where you're going to face even more problems because you got Chuck Schumer and the rest of the crazy nut jobs in there, where odds remain low for decisive action. So there we go. They got low odds on that. So we'll see how far we get. But it went through the House. Kind of cool. The House goes 279 votes to 136 to approve the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act with a very strong showing from the House Democrats. So that's positive news. They finally did something right. The passage of the crypto market structure bill marks the industry's most significant legislative accomplishment in Congress. Wow. Just shows you how difficult the Democrats are. Anyway, the crypto industry recorded its biggest ever US policy win on Wednesday when the House Senate approved it. And so that's looking pretty good. Let's just jump through some of this. So kind of cool. Let me just jump through some of this. So what do we have? We had 75 Democrats, 208 Republicans vote in favor of the bill versus 3 Republicans, 133 Democrats who voted against it. So these people are a lot of trouble, right? These are particularly a lot of trouble, these people. So cool. President Joe Biden opposed the bill with a policy statement, though he didn't say whether he would veto the bill. That's the next, it's got to go to the Senate, and then I guess the bill has to go to the president, right? So we'll see. It's so far good in the House, though. So, yep. Now, the legislation, largely driven by House Republicans, would establish a regime to regulate the U.S. crypto markets, setting consumer protections, installing the Commodities Future Trading Commission, the CFTC, as the leading regulator of digital assets and the watchdog of the non-security spot market, and it would more clearly define what makes a crypto token a security or commodity, and that's very, very important rather than the SEC doing that sort of behavior. So kind of cool. There we go. So that is pretty much the highlights there. So pretty good week. End of week, let's say. That leads us into crypto. How did the crypto market respond to all that news? And of course, we've got Bitcoin at the moment down 2.2% at $67,735. Give or take. The Bitcoin dominance is down 51 to 0.57%. So that was over 53%, remember? Only several days away. Several days ago, I should say. So that's down to 51.757. And Ethereum has responded just calmly to the news. So very calmly there. It's already sort of priced in a lot of that stuff. Remember, we were down at just below, 2,900 only, a week ago. And so here we are at 3,756, kind of priced it in, I guess, for the time being. But of course, people are talking about potentially going over 4K. And of course, we still haven't hit the all-time high for Ethereum, so that's ahead of us. That was 4,900 or so. So that's still on the table. The market a bit subdued at the moment as we head into Friday, I guess, in the US. Remember, it's already Friday here down under, so still a day to go for the markets. So we'll see what happens over the next 24 hours. But it's certainly very bullish news, and sometimes the market's already priced in and may just need a little bit of, just calming down before it makes another move. Most of the market down. A few outsiders are up. ETC, Pepe, the means is up another 8%, quadruple 015, so that's doing pretty well for the Pepe meme. And we got a few others there, Bonk, and a few other ones down. Interestingly, AR is down 8.7% at the moment. So there we go. What are we going to have over the Friday and the weekend? Well, maybe it's going to be particularly bullish. Maybe it would be a bit subdued, and then maybe delay, and the market start rallying in maybe next week. We shall see. So that's kind of cool around that. And of course, we're gonna get into that. Actually, I've got this in the wrong place, so let me pull that over there. That's in the wrong place. Let's go to the Bitcoin charts itself, and we can see that we rallied through the 50-day, didn't we? We rallied through the 50-day, and the yellow there is at 64,800 at the moment. 64,800 is where we are on the 50-day, and we're above that at 67,773. Recent high was up at 72, almost 72,000. So we're looking very good, aren't we? We're looking very good on the old Bitcoin there. And of course, you guys know, a reasonable target 90 to 100K by the end of the year, may even absolutely troll up that. There's always potential that the pickup of all this good news around regulations ends up spurring us right into the end of the year. What is it, October or so? That could be extremely bullish. We have virtually every month, every year has been green. So that could be really, really fun going in there. We might look at that maybe tomorrow or the next day. So very, very cool about the outlook that this might have on the markets. Typically after the Bitcoin halving, we have a couple of months choppy, even with good news like this. So we'll see. I think so far we're actually performing very well if you look at the whole range here at the moment. So, and such bullish news. So let's see how we get on. Very, very cool. All right, so let's get into the Ethereum as well. Ethereum looking very strong on the news, just consolidating at the moment. We'll see whether they go for another step up here, back over 4,000. Remember, last time we were back at 4,000 was in March. So let's see if we can beat out that. We've certainly got the news for it. We've got higher lows, right? Higher lows, and we've got good news. So looking more probable than not, right? So there we go. That's kind of news that we would get to move us higher, and we might just start tracking up towards that 4,900 there. It has been about 33 days or so since the Bitcoin halving. So, in that two-month window of kind of volatility with this good news, probably is to the upside. So, and we may get that big rally in crypto that's going to do some crazy numbers. We shall see. Barring any geopolitical risk, right, that we know of, like Taiwan and, China, Taiwan or something like that. So there we are. We're at the moment, the 50-day moving average is at 3,236. The price is currently at 3,763, looking very, very good. And of course, we've just got to hit the Ethereum ETF approval there as well. All right. I've got likely interest rate pivot here in July, but it's all the way out in September now. I'm going to move that quickly. Let's move it. I can't remember the date, but we'll move it out to the 11th of September. Well, that is all the way out there now. So interest rate pivot is the next kind of big macro news. After that, of course, in November, it's going to be the US election. You can see that coming up. That's going to be very, very important. And of course, what my position is on that. We definitely need a Trump win for freedom. If Trump loses, then the Democrats will be pretty close to complete power for, the foreseeable future, potentially permanently. So, and they'll continue to hand over power from the US over to the UN. That's what they will do. Meanwhile, they'll clip the ticket on the way while they do it, and they don't care about the rest of the people in the country. So there we go. That's kind of basically a front runner of the future if the Democrats win. And if Trump wins, then the people will reign supreme, and hopefully he's going to gut the deep state. So fingers crossed on all that. That would be pretty cool. Without freedom, you can not do too much, right? You can't really be free if you don't have the true freedom. All right. You always have the choice of becoming part of the fascists. So you can always do that, I guess. Get that. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. We're going to jump into DOG, of course. So that is Ethereum ETF proof, very bullish for the market. Expecting the market to move up on that news eventually. And anyway, we've got Bitcoin DOG to the moon. So obviously Bitcoin on DOG doing pretty well. And let's see where it is at the moment. 6.38 sats is DOG. DOG go to the moon. And of course, the market cap is at 432 million at the moment. So there we go on Magic Eden. You can pick that up there. And at the moment, you can see it's charting up here. So it's a nice little W forming. So yeah, let's see where we go from there. At the moment, 4,200th of a penny. And of course, next target is kind of back to 500 million and then to the billion target. And then if we get a billion, we may get some of these A-listing sites there listing the good old DOG on Bitcoin. So got to be bullish about that. And then, of course, you can see, I think we had the ranking here on CoinMarketCap. DOG go to moon is 165. So it's up from yesterday. It's moved up position. It's been up 90% in the last 7 days. And it's still in the early territory. So still early to pick up DOG go to the moon. Of course, they're targeting to be number one meme coin in the world. So massive upside from here. Even to get back to Dodge, up to Dodge there. So that's super bullish there. Let's go to where Dodge is at the moment, just to give you an idea. Well, even if we click on memes here, we can see that Dodge is number 8. And of course, their market cap is 23 billion. It was 24 billion, a couple of days ago. That is pretty much it on Dodge. So that's the target. Obviously, you got other ones there like Shib and Peppy, Dog with Hat, Bonk, Flocky, Book of Meme. You've also got Meme Coin, and then you've got Dog Go to the Moon. Dog Go to the Moon. And this one here is the massive upside, right? 428 million, trying to chase down 23 billion. Sounds pretty good to me. And of course, we've got all the right news for it, right? Bitcoin ETFs, the Bitcoin halving, and now the Ethereum ETFs. It's game on, right? Game on. So kind of cool news around that. we're feeling very bullish. So that's pretty much the crypto news. We're going to get into the results of Pulsechain for day 377. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on any more comments in the chat. Let's see who else has jumped in here since I've been talking for a little bit there on the markets. So much news. Can you blame me? Can you blame me? If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right now. Smash that subscribe button. It really does help the channel, and get into our Discord. Links in the video description for Discord. We've got a general Discord for Pulsechain Hex. $5 a month, 16 cents a day. Really great value. You get great information, and most of all, a great community. And so get in there on that one. If you want to join our strategy club, that's $35 a month. So you can hit that too. And of course, that's multi-chain. So we're looking at cool things like dog, go to the moon. And yeah, it's going to be cool. We all want to go to the moon when we got the pumpy dog token. What else there? Let's see who else has jumped in here. Eddie says, I am RH maximalist and mega bullish. Woohoo! That is what I like. That's what I like to hear. I'll tip my hat, but then I don't want to take my hat off. But I'll tip my hat to that. That is a great statement of the day. Wookie says, drop in sometime in the corner of Twinkle Toes and Armstrong Way. Is there a pub there, Wookie? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Let us know. Craig Pitt says, morning all. Hey, Craig, hope you're doing well. Now, Craig has joined our Mafia family there, led by our godfather, Archie. So we're looking forward to that. So well done to Archie. We appreciate all that Archie's doing in terms of setting up our Mafia family. That is getting closer and closer. I think, within a week or two will be launched. And of course, game on. We're expecting next up is going to be the Wikipedia, and of course the family setup. And you guys will see how the Mafia family is set up there. It's going to be so good. So big shout out to Archie for that. And of course, we'll give him as much support as we can. Mad Mike's in house there. Lose true DeFi, lose it all. Yeah, that's true. We're full DeFi. I much prefer full DeFi, that's for sure. Very rarely do I go on a centralized exchange these days. Sandy Beach says, holiday weekend coming. Woohoo! Party time at Sandy's. Party time at Sandy's. Sandy says, no, I'm on holiday. I'm going on holiday. I'm going to relax in the sun. I know it's summer where you guys are, so I'm sure it's fine and dandy. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Let's jump all through those. Sandy says, I like freedom. Yeah, me too. Brendan says, doggo to thy moon. The moon? Yeah, doggo to the moon. Yeah, absolutely. We got Property Review says, great channel, Hex Token, all the way. Thanks for that, Property Review. Appreciate your support there. Kind words indeed. Let's jump through some of these. We've got the old kangaroos from Sandy. Yeah, I like the kangaroos. Kangaroo down sport, is that what they used to say? Join the Strategy Club today with Wookie's amazing link. Indeed. There we go. There's a link if you want to join up to the Strategy Gate. I want to visit and see the Great Barrier Reef before it dies. I think it's recovering actually, Sandy. I'm pretty sure. I know that they were scaremongering with the dying. I'm pretty sure it's been recovering. Pretty sure on that one. I thought I saw an article a while ago. They often do that, they do the old climate alarmism, right? Where they say, this is dying. Like 5 years later, it's doing really well. So, who knows? I want to visit and see the Great Barrier Reef before it dies. Yeah. There's a dog in the pouch of the kangaroo. Really? There probably has been a dog in a kangaroo's pouch. I wouldn't be surprised. Brennan says the globalists are spinning lies. Yeah, they're very good at it too, aren't they? They've got the mainstream media, but the mainstream media is slowly eroding. So that's kind of good. Independent media taking over with some common sense and some evidence-based narrative rather than propaganda narrative. That's kind of cool. How many people are still fooled? Well, there's still a fair amount, but more and more waking up. That's the good news. All right, let's get into it. We've got Pulsechain, day 377. Yeah, boy, 377. Second year of Pulsechain. We got the Pulsechain price at quadruple 0542, up 3.14%. That is fantastic. Is that pi 3.14? Yeah, I think it is. 54% of the main sacrifice price. We got Pulsex there at quadruple 246, up 6.5%. So that's even up more than Pulsechain. And of course, the buy and burn, where's that at? 669.9 billion Pulsex has been bought up and burned. And that buy part of that bought up, buy and burn is the key part, right? The buy part because that pushes the price up. So that's kind of cool. 4.29% of the public supply is now gone, Burger. And we can see that we're under 20 trillion now too on the total supply. So thank you very much for the buy and burn. Incentive token at the moment is up 7.66%, $3.13. The ratio is up even more. So this is really, really good. We called it well on this one, and 57,865. Pulse is the, we're going to tick that on the charts because it's going to look so good. Let's go to the supply, 32, just under 32.5 million incentive tokens, and of course that's from the Pulse XV1 farm. Now I don't say that for the people that are here regularly, just for people that are new, just so that they know where that's happening. Hex at the moment up 4.8% at 7,500th of a penny. I just have a feel Hex is going to have a bit of a move on. Do you guys have that feel? But there we go. We've got eHex at the moment at 1,800th of a penny. That's been pretty stable, right? 1,900 a penny, 1,800 a penny, 1,700. It's pretty stable there, 1,800. So the total combined price of eHex and PHEX is 90, just under 9300th of a penny there. And I just feel we get a bit of momentum on now. This could really start rallying there, and it's going to be interesting to see when the Magic Carpet ride will kick in, right? What are we, about 33 days since the Bitcoin halving? We've got this ETH news now, or the ETF. Are we going to see some action on the old Pulsechain? It really has come back quite a bit there, and maybe it's time for the rise. Accumulate has been the kind of the call. Let's see what we got there. Pulsechain on the weekly. So we've got this nice little indecision candle here on the weekly so far. Hasn't closed, of course, but the RSI is down at 35, pretty down. And of course, here we are looking at the horizontal. We're actually a lot of plate area that we had support, right? See this? Where we bounced off that all the time. Those are weekly candles, right? Not daily candles. We keep bouncing off that, and that was at 5,400 there. So very, very strong point here. And we managed to bounce from it again. Now we broke that upward trend, but the horizontal is very important, and we're doing okay at this stage. So a nice turning point would be pretty cool. Even though it's an indecision channel here, be nice to get maybe a slightly positive green, turning that week close, and then maybe up to the upside there. We did expect, maybe one theory was that we'd have the Pulsechain party and then 1 month, and that would be about 2 months after the Bitcoin halving, and that kind of felt like a good time for the market to start turning back up there. So that's kind of where we are on Pulsechain. Let's jump over to PulseX. PulseX here is getting exactly what I was talking about for Pulsechain. We've got this happening here with this green. It was kind of in a decision candle, and now it's looking a bit greener, so that's kind of positive. We've got a bit of an uptick here on the weekly for the RSI on PulseX at 39. So yeah, and we've kind of bounced around this previous resistance back in November. So that's kind of looking good there. Now let's go to the daily and see if we've got any indication here. What we're waiting for is this yellow line to really cool above the blue line, right? So the 13-day over the 34-day. In other words, the short over the longer period. And that started, I don't know, is this starting to feel like it's getting a bit of shape here to start turning, and we might get that cross eventually. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days from now. We'll see how we go. That is kind of where we are at the moment. And of course, we did break down that support line on the Angular as well, along with Pulsechain. That is the play. And of course, the RSI pretty chill at 43. All right, so that is it on PulseX. Incentive token, though, has been like the star. Look at this on the ratio. Woo! 57,700. We are so close, folks. I mean, really, we get over 61, and it's on to the next level for incentive token. And you know, the next target would be 71, right? Not just because it's another 10,000 higher, but because we've got this previous horizontal here back in July. It was way last year at 70, just under 71,000. So that's kind of the next target. And then it's anybody's guess after that, because we had this part up here. We could go way high. So after we break that 71, it could be hyper bullish move for the incentive. We shall see. The RSI is a bit hot on the daily. On the weekly at 63, but there's a bit of room there to move. So we shall see where we go there. PHEX, of course, very underpriced, relatively speaking, and we're just at 7,500th of a penny. Another indecision candle here on the weekly, so we'll see how that goes. Let's go to the daily though. Daily here, the RSI down at 40. Let's hopefully we get a bit of a turn here, maybe a bit of a turn here in this one. So we'll keep a lookout for Hex. So far, the news is pretty bullish in crypto. So fingers crossed that starts to turn up there. And eHex, of course, pretty moving sideways. Look at us continually moving sideways on the daily at 1,800th of a penny at the moment, all the way up to the BankX price at 0.7 of a penny. we could have a nice little rally there. Get a bit sticky through that if it's trying to follow Pulsechain up, the Pulsechain Hex up after that. So question mark over that. We'll see. All right, we got the EXP XP at the moment. Let's do the inversion though. The inversion, negative reality inversion. If you've seen the young ones, we are climbing. We are climbing here. EHEX versus Pulsechain Hex for the time being. So we'll see where we head there. Let's invert this though. Totally negative inversion. You guys seen the young ones? Totally negative inversion. Yeah, it's really dating myself there. But there we go. We're at 419. So basically, if it's higher, that means that Pulsechain is stronger than EHEX, but at the moment it's on the weaker side of this range. So we got up to around about 6.6. We've been pretty low down to 3.7. We're on the bottom end of that range at the moment. So far, EHEX kind of looking good relative to PX, but still well. It's one PX is 4.2 EHEX, so still a bit of room to go. It started all that journey off right after Richard Hart's posts about EHEX and PX. It was down at 1.76, so we're miles away from that still, but we'll see where we head there at the moment on the old EHEX PX battle. That leads us into our final one here on InvestX.io, and of course we're at 9200th of a penny, right at the bottom of the range, and of course accumulation zone here for Hex, and of course the breakout there at 3 cents. We break away from that. And it's game on. All right, enough bad French acting, but there we go. That is it on the Pulsechain for day 377. We've just started day 378, but we're going to get into the stats for the gas prices. 420,000 beats, 0.8 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, 500th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 1/10. Yeah, you heard it here, 1/10 of a penny for PRC20 transfer. Gwei on the Ethereum at the moment, 7 Gwei. And of course, we're at 1,170 times cheaper than that, even with that Gwei being so low. So up to $9.45 for a Pulse Uniswap transfer, but only 0.8 of a penny for a Pulsex transfer. It's fun to do business with the old Pulsechain. Finally, we've got the validators. Let's go to validators quickly. We got it's got the numbers here. I don't know why it disappears sometimes. But there we go. Where's it going? 1.56 trillion off the market. So it's not telling me what the validators are. So there we are. I don't know why that disappears. Let's go to the bridge. We're at 110, almost 111. So we're slightly higher than yesterday. I think we were 110.8, wasn't it, yesterday? We're almost at 111. So we're just slightly up at the moment. And of course, that would reflect those charts being up a bit. So there we go. Not too bad. Let's have a look here. Yep, that's kind of where we are at the moment on that. So that's the results for day 377. We're now on day 378. Yeah, boy. All right, so that's going to lead us into the derivatives for the rest of the Pulsechain. So the Hex derivatives, we've got Decky at the moment up 6.2%. So that's the 10-year Hex staking pool or mining pool. And we've got the Trio, the 3-year one, up 3.25%. Hedron on Pulsechain is up 2.4%. And then Base, the 1-year renewal. Of course, it's in the second year, isn't it? 1.67% at the moment as well. So they're kind of on the upside. Lucky, of course, is up 1.2% there if you're lucky enough. Now, are they still getting drops? Let me know if Lucky you still get drops into the Lucky there. Pretty sure that's where the airdrops from the Maximus team are going. So let me know if that is still the case. All right, let's jump over to the stablecoins. Stablecoins at the moment, we've got HexDC is up 4.6%. So it's above the peg at 1.04. So that's pretty cool. Remember, that is a liquidity fork for Hex, isn't it? So HexDC, Hex dollar cost. There's a stable coin at 104 above peg, but everything else is slightly below peg, particularly the Coast. The Coast has actually gone up a little bit. It was at 88 cents and was all the way down. What got really low, actually. I can't remember the number. Was it 76 cents, something like that? It is now back at 90 cents. So it's getting back. I don't think we've got any news yet about Coast and their new financial provider, so still question mark over that. It's not a question mark because if you can go check, but I haven't checked. So there we go. Question mark for me. Question mark for me. All right, so there we are. That's kind of where we're at the moment. And of course, PDI there at 4400th of a penny. So we're still waiting for PDI to play out, try to attack that 1 cent again. If you think that's still on the table, which I do. All right, let's jump over to the influencer coins. Quick look at this. We got Fire Access Alive is up at the moment, 13%. So that's looking pretty good for Crispy Man. And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, he does daily in-depth, or not daily, well, he does regular in-depth videos on Hex. He goes to the next level, but like he goes into all the data. He's got all his data charts. He's a data analyst guy. And so you can find out all that. I do the summary on Hex Daily Stats, but he goes multiple levels beyond that in terms of data. Note token up 11.8%. So well done, Randy Alaski. Of course, there's no permissions there. They got them all airdropped, the note token. That's at 4600th of a penny. So note token doing pretty well. I think he's got some news coming up too around that. So we'll see what happens there. Paul Pleb from Hexy Bastard up 9%. Access Alive at $19,239. Nice little recovery there. And up 8.5% there. Pretty cool. So, and I guess we'll give an honorable mention to Ben Armstrong's V1 Ben token. That is up 6% as well. All right. Let's jump over to overall numbers. I think we'll do that. Let's do that. We're going to go to Pulsechain. If I can find the chart. There we go. Total volume is very low today, 21.7 million. I'm pretty sure that's for weekday, right? Weekday. I'm pretty sure even for a Thursday, that's pretty low. So 21.7 million. That's on the low side. But we do see Richard Hart tokens kind of leading the way, don't we? Transactions at the moment, 312,000. That's pretty normal in the normal range. Let's have a look at the top performers. So we've got Hexfire, Crispy Man. We talked about that. Orange Man Good there. Is that another one? They just launched another one there from HOA. Maybe they did. Let's have a look here. How long has it been around? 1 month. Okay, no, I haven't. But it's still on the rally. Still on the rally. I think we covered it yesterday. But that thing is still moving up there. The old OMG token. So doing pretty well. I think it's another HOA one though, isn't it? We got Love.io. Wow, one of our utility tokens. Far out. It's not often we've had utility. We've had a lot of meme dominations, reflection token dominations. But the utility tokens have been, very few of them have been in the top performers at the moment. But Love token, there is up 12.6%. Have they had some news? I don't know. Have they had some news? Let's go check out. They're pretty much on the bottom. I mean, look at this. This is Love.io. It's a shame, really, because it's one of our few social protocols, right? But let's go have a look at their Twitter handle, see whether they've got anything on there. Sorry, I can't even access it on there now. X is pretty much closed down my total site. So obviously a Hex token account was taken down for no good reason, and they're not communicating either. So what can you do? I've appealed, but no reply. This is sort of fascism that you have to put up with social media companies. Even X, which is supposed to be on the back to the freedom side, but they're still dominated. Probably a lot of stuff still very left-wing nut jobs. So what can you do? What can you do? They're all fascists on those sides, right? They believe in democracy one time. Once they take over, they then want your democracy and your freedom back, right? That's what they do. So it's the problem with being on their side of the aisle, so to speak. We've got the BBC token up 12% at just on below 31 cents. We talked about Note token. We talked about Access Alive. So they're all dominating. Influencer coins are dominating on Pulsechain. What else? Let's see here. 9 inches up 7.6%. So that's looking good for one of our dexes. So another utility token. So both BBC and 9 inch there. Utility. So we've had a couple of moves in the utility tokens. What do we say? Love.io, the social platform, and 9 inch there doing pretty well. Let's see here. Blaster UFO doing well. UFO, of course, related to PTGC, and that's up 6% as well. Pulsex making the list. Yay! One of Richard Hart's tokens making the list on the greens there, up almost 6%. So that's great news there around the Richard Hart Golden Cryptos. And Hex there also in the green, 4.5%. So not bad. We talked about that, of course. Not bad at all. So there we go. Quite a few in green. Very modest gains. But nevertheless, quite a lot of tickers are in green, including GIF and Gophers. Many of them are inching out a couple, percent or two gain after that big pullback. So there we go. Let's see how the dexes are performing. We got Pulsex at the moment with 17 million of that volume, so still dominating most of the volume. And 9mm is doing 2.6 million of the volume, which is kind of most of the rest of it, isn't it? 9 inch, 1.1 million. So cool. 9 inch over $1 million. That's pretty neat. And SparkSwap managing to keep up its volume because what was it, over 500,000 yesterday? Now 600,000 today. Or was it 1.1 million? I can't remember now. But anyway, it's still doing a decent volume there, 618. Those are pretty much our top four dexes, right? Pretty cool. All right, that leads us into Hex.com. Before we get into Hex, though, let's catch up one more time on the chat. All right, my own sound effects. It's crazy. Let's see here. Let's get back up here. Man, lots of comments in the chat there for sure while I've been chatting away about all those market prices. Let's see here. We got up to there. Brennan says, I haven't been yet, Sandy. Oh, you're talking about having a conversation. Sorry about that. Don't mean to pry on your conversation. Let me jump through some of those. Let's see. Having a private conversation. Sorry about that. Just chimed in on that one. Brennan says, Kiwi jokes go over my head as well. Yeah, that's probably not surprising. They go over my head sometimes as well. Let's see here. Covered the moon to the Great Beard. Yeah, you guys are having a chat, private chat. The whole conversation I just went through was all private chat between those three. And that's hilarious. I love it. All right, let's get back into it then. And yeah, get a room, as we say. Get a room. All right, so we got the Hex Daily Stats. Let's do it. Day 1634 on the old Ethereum chain, 23rd of May. I don't know if the price feed's not seeing the update properly for quite a few days there now. Whole weekend, in fact. The payout today. Are you guys like this? Hold on to your seats. The payout for Hex today on Ethereum, 39.35. Yep. If you got a T-share there, 39.35. Wow. Woohoo. What was the one we had the other day? Yeah, no, that was on the Pulsechain side, right? 39.35 Hex per T-share. Well done to those that are mining. Share rate went up 45 to 34,328. Let's jump over to that yield. Look at that APY, 225.81% based on that payout. Now let's look at the T-shares. The T-shares down 46,500, sitting at 9,138,000 T-shares. Man, that's not. I mean, it's not too far away. We get days like this. Not going to be too far away until we go into 9 million T-shares on the Ethereum chain. OMG. All right, so there we go. When I say OMG, it reminds me of like one of those kids. OMG. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's jump over to the penalty amounts. Hold on to your seat. 588 million Hex in penalties. OMG. There we go. We got the payout pool, the reward pool going to T-share miners, 359 million. And of course, that includes half of that, doesn't it? So pretty amazing. You know, the other half goes to the OA account. That is pretty spectacular. What a day. In the office. Anyway, liquid holders up 12, miners down 10. We've got 117,763 miners currently mining on the old Ethereum chain for Hex. Now, we haven't got Pulsechain out today. We'll probably read that out tomorrow, but we have got yesterday's number. So there we go. What is it? 7.07. What day did I say it was? 370 something? I've forgotten already what day it is for the old chain there. Let me just quickly look. Let me cheat. 378. So 77. So 376. There we go. 376 is that day. And of course, 22nd of May. Price is down a bit there. At least the price feed is correct on the Pulsechain side. 718 is there. Payout 7.071 is for 2 days ago. And that's pretty much it. I think we're going to leave it there. T-shares were down. T-shares were up, sorry, 7,000. We're there, 9.4 million. So look at the gap really opening up between Ethereum and Pulsechain for the T-shares. So, you know, Pulsechain almost down at 9.1 million. This is still over 9.4. And of course, we had that big change in the T-shares the other day. Let's have a look at the, what else was looking at here? Payout, yeah, penalties, 2.7 million on the old Pulsechain. But we had that big one the other day, right, on Pulsechain, 584,000. So looks like that's come out due today as well on the old Ethereum chain. Liquid holders up 49, miners down 5. Seeing just under 124,000 miners there. So about just over what's about 4,000 difference or something in terms of number of miners on Pulsechain versus Ethereum. All right, that is it at the moment. We're on 1,635 and yeah, ticking away for the old Hex. All right, let's see here. Brandon says, I've booked the room. What do you book the room for? What the fudge is going on there? All right, Sandy Beach knows what you're talking about. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. What a day. So good news, Ethereum ETFs approved. Will they do Solana next? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Some of these other chains, ETFs, and of course, let's see what happens. We're, what do we say, 33 days or so after the Bitcoin halving. So maybe another month of interesting behavior. We shall see. Will it be exactly the same as previous months? They're not always the same as the previous halvings. Maybe it's going to be game on sooner than later. So yeah, can we keep tracking that price chart up all the way through to third quarter of 2025, for example, and have a super rally? before the great reckoning comes, right? We're expecting a great reckoning eventually, but we want to have our big, giant bull market run first. So that's kind of the play there. Remember to take books and profits in once we start getting up to those good numbers, because you don't want to be left on the other side of the hill, especially if it goes down very fast. Just remember that. So there's a bit of a lesson there about bull markets and bear markets, right? Remember to take some profits, and you won't cry later. You won't say, I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I had this much, and now I only had this much, and the market's got to go through another bear market. You don't want to be that guy, right? Don't want to be that guy. All right. Brendan says, cheers, great streams. So thank you very much. And kind of cool. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to play out the Magic Cup right on the way up, and maybe some Hex song. We like songs. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. We covered it all. Didn't we? We covered stock market. We covered the Federal Reserve. We covered interest rates. We covered crypto market. We covered all the big news around the ETFs. And of course, we covered the runes and the meme coins on Bitcoin. We covered the BNB chain even. We covered the ETH chain. We covered Pulsechain in full. So good times. Good times, everybody. Good times. All right, take care. I will catch you again tomorrow. How about that? I'll see you again tomorrow. Bring your friends, and yeah, we'll have a good time. Hopefully, we'll see some action Jackson this weekend as well. All right, take care. Bye for now. Peace out.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
All right, we're going to talk about the poll. We're going to talk about the poll there. Are you bullish? That's the poll. We got mega bullish of 44%, baby bullish of 41%. Do you like the baby bullish about there? I don't know. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. Anyway, we got still bearish 6%, not sure 6%. So actually, we've got a very bullish crowd. 85% of people watching are bullish, and that's 29 votes. So that's a pretty decent little poll. Very, very cool. Thanks, Brendan, for reminding me about the poll. I did see it. But there we go. It's done. All right, take care, everybody, and it's time to party. Time to party, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, around. Whoa. Everyone is bullish. We've got 85% bullish, so I like that. Take care, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Accumulate. And of course, Magic Cup ride eventually, right? Magic Cup ride. All right, peace out. And bye for now. Take care.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha. Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.